Good evening, dear viewers, and welcome to a new episode of Business Insider. Tonight we'll be talking about artificial intelligence and its role in the creation of jobs, especially for the youth. And as always, we begin our episode with a look at the latest economic stories making the headlines for this past week. We start here at home, where Prime Minister Dr Mahgoub has ordered the formation of an executive committee to receive applications from investors and give approvals for green hydrogen projects. This according to a statement yesterday. The committee shall include representatives from the Egyptian cabinet, the ministries of electricity and petroleum and mineral resources, the Sovereign Fund of Egypt, and the General Authority for the Suez Canal Economic Zone. Premier Mahgoub also directed the consideration of offering an additional exceptional incentive package for the first bundle of companies that will sign the final green hydrogen contracts with the Egyptian government. This came during the first meeting of the National Council for Green Hydrogen, headed by Dr Mahgoub. And the OPEC Fund for International Development has provided Egypt with $10 million US. This under a $200 million syndicated trade finance facility with the International Islamic Trade Finance Corporation, the ITFC, to support the country's food security. This according to a statement on September the 19th, that's yesterday. The facility will help the North African nation import essential agricultural and food commodities. The OPEC Fund's participation in this vital trade finance facility underscores the commitment of helping solve food security challenges. Egypt's strategic approach to food and security aligns with the OPEC shared goals OPEC, of course, which is a partner with the ITFC, the International Islamic Trade Finance Corporation. The OPEC Fund's commitment to the trade finance facility will back Egypt's food security in line with Sustainable Development Goal SDG 2, Zero Hunger, and the OPEC Fund's own $1 billion food security action plan. And Minister of Civil Aviation Abbas Hilmi has met with his Nigerian counterpart, Mr. Festus Kiyan, to probe increasing the number of flights between Egypt and Nigeria, as per a statement. This aims to boost the air traffic, tourism and air freight between Egypt and Nigeria. Furthermore, the two ministers discussed exchanging expertise in various civil aviation activities, especially in the field of training, maintenance, air navigation and airport management. This came on the sidelines of the two-day African Aviation Summit 2023 held in Abuja, Nigeria, this past week. Those were our top stories. We remind you, dear viewers, that our main topic for tonight is artificial intelligence and its role in the creation of jobs, especially for the youth. Time now for a short break. When we come back, we will be introducing you to our guests with us here in the studio, and we'll also be watching a report together on our main topic. Please stay with us. Welcome back, dear viewers, and thank you for staying with us. With us now here in the studio is Dr Maha Mahgoub, and she is a human development and human resources expert. Thank you very much, Dr. Maha. Pleasure to have you with us. Allow us, please, dear viewers, to first watch a report on the main topic for tonight, AI, or artificial intelligence, and its role in the creation of jobs, especially for the youth. Rasha Abdul Hamid and Abir Hussein with the reports.
Artificial intelligence and machine learning are poised to help companies make dramatic shifts in performance, shareholder value, and business development within the next years. Artificial intelligence opens the door to analyze massive amounts of data and deliver critical insights. Companies leading the charge with advanced artificial intelligence are finding that it is a real game changer, while companies that are still lagging behind will soon experience major disadvantages. With all of the evolutions and benefits of artificial intelligence, Egypt started its own forward-looking steps towards it, with the target that artificial intelligence composes 7.7% of its gross domestic product in 2030. Egypt ranked 111th out of 194 countries in the latest government Artificial Intelligence Readiness 2019 report published by Oxford Insights, which ranks countries based on their ability to harness artificial intelligence to deliver better public services, looking at existing infrastructure, skills, and governance. Earlier in 2019, Minister of Information and Communications Technology Amr Talat announced that his ministry is working to set a strategy for artificial intelligence. The minister said Egypt's artificial intelligence strategy will stand on two main axes, which are Learning and Artificial Intelligence Academy, which is specialized in capacity learning, innovation, and new thinking in artificial intelligence. The second pillar is more on the practical side and applying the artificial intelligence for governance or for business enterprises driven by data science and analyzing the data. The artificial strategy will be applied through three main work streams, including data, education, infrastructure, and ecosystem. On the same note, Minister of Higher Education and Scientific Research stated earlier that the government plan includes establishing new artificial intelligence colleges and 8 computer and information faculties, in addition to investing in sending Egyptian students to study artificial intelligence at institutions around the world. Moreover, the Cabinet has approved a draft resolution on establishing a National Council for Artificial Intelligence. In 2023, Minister of Communications and Information Technology Amr Talat witnessed the closing ceremony of the first edition of the Capacity Building Initiative for universities in the field of artificial intelligence at the Digital Egypt Creativity Center in Giza. The initiative comprised 500 students from 5 universities. Talat said that the importance of the initiative is that it is related to one of the most important specialized of communities and information technology, which is artificial intelligence. The minister explained that Egypt advanced 7 places in the Global Index of Artificial Intelligence issued by Tortoise Media, which is specializing in the field of artificial intelligence. According to the minister, it also advanced 17 places in the indicator of skills related to artificial intelligence. Minister Talat pointed to the state's efforts to promote the use of artificial intelligence as a National Council for Artificial Intelligence was formed that included the parties concerned with this technology, and a national strategy for artificial intelligence was developed. Talat added that the initiative embodies constructive cooperation between the elements of the information society, namely the government sector, the academic community, the private sector, and creative youth, stressing that success in the communications and information technology industry is evident in the adaptation of technology to make an impact and to face the challenges facing society in various sectors. He pointed out that the ministry continues to launch more training programs in cooperation with major international companies and academic institutions to expand the base of cadres capable of adapting various technologies, including artificial intelligence, to serve the various sectors of the society, as well as expanding programs that target all groups of school students, university students, and graduates, as well as to encourage youth from different scientific backgrounds to join the ICT sector.
Thank you, dear viewers, for staying with us and welcome back. You are watching Business Insider with Dr. Maha Mahgoub, Human Development and Human Resources expert. Dr. Maha, we listened to the report by Abir Hussein and Rasha Abdul Hamid, but I always like to start any topic of discussion, especially one that has scientific dimensions, with definitions. I'm sure that there are different definitions for artificial intelligence, though I'm sure also the broad concept is the same.
Yeah.
But I want your perception of the best definition, if there is such a
Yes.
A statement could be made of artificial intelligence,
Yes.
AI.
The artificial intelligence is simulating the human brain by inserting huge database, photos, everything. After this insertion, the machine itself will be learning the reaction of different situations. So after that, it will be simulating and interacting with the human body. And of course, it's dealing with the hardware and software itself. In programming process of the artificial intelligence, it needs learning, self-correction, perception, and then the last step is innovation. The artificial intelligence nowadays is using for most of technology nowadays. The simplest product of artificial intelligence is robotic, such as Siri in Apple mobile. When we talk, or maybe you can talk together, it's okay. It's interacting with the human body, a human
Right.
being. But the most difficult difficult artificial intelligence is AGI, artificial general intelligence, which depends on the huge data which will be used in defining what to do and how to simulate and how to present these data in many areas, in arts, in science, technology, medicine, everything. It's worth to mention that maybe a few months ago, the artificial intelligence used the voice of singers such as Kulthum, and just they recognize the tone of voice and the vibration, and then they can compose and design, or maybe make simulate new song with the same voice of the same singer.
Right.
So it's imitating and stimulating everything with human being, so they can interact as person to person, and then can be used in many areas in our life.
You kept talking, Dr. Maha, about data and the huge amount of data. And we keep hearing about what's called noisy data, or pollutive data. So the process of eliminating the so-called noisy or pollutive data, how difficult and how important is that task? Because sometimes too much information could be harmful.
Yes,
is that the
of course.
case? Yeah.
All of us heard by ChatGPT. It's ChatGPT, when you ask ChatGPT about a certain topic, so they are gathering and collecting all relative data regarding the topic that we have asked about. So it eliminates or maybe summarize the whole data. Of course, it has been collected from different platforms, websites, and then they are providing just what do you need or ask. This is just to the point. I'm not going to use a lot of data, noises of data here and there. Not maybe some of them are right and the others are wrong. But now we can concentrate on how to allocate what we need exactly by getting what we need exactly by using artificial intelligence. And one of the most example is ChatGPT.
Okay. Again, with data, something is very important, because this is where the process starts from, right?
Of course.
The data itself could be biased, couldn't it?
Yes.
And how could we, I mean, how big is that challenge, the biased data?
The data has been inserted by the human being, right?
Right.
So this is the harmful effect of artificial intelligence. So some people just recognize, okay, the black side of artificial intelligence could be against the human being, but for example, by using biased data or something like that. So we have to be careful in using these data and in the process area, or by inserting these data just to achieve the desired outcomes from these data. What do we need exactly by injecting these data or process, and what about the main goal of these operations or process? So the most important just to define what about the objectives, what about the most needed data, what about the outcomes of using these, the whole process from starting from data insertion process and then the outcomes.
What other challenges could we face, Dr. Maha, in trying to get good, credible, productive, useful results from artificial intelligence, other than the noisy data challenge or the biased data challenge? Talk to us about other challenges. I'm sure there are many.
Challenges regarding the artificial intelligence?
Yes, and how to use it best, yes.
Yes, some people, they are proud and they are happy by using artificial intelligence, but it has a bright side and dark side on the other hand. If you are talking about the dark side of using artificial intelligence, some people, they might think that these data, or maybe the simulation itself, might be attack the human himself. So maybe if robotic or maybe weapons or something, so it could be get back and attack the human being itself. On the other hand, the advancement of artificial intelligence, it will be deleting, or maybe maybe we can find new job will be arise and other job will be disappeared.
Right.
So maybe, for example,
that's a big challenge.
Yes.
It's an opportunity and a challenge.
So opportunity for the people who can take the opportunity, study and learn how to use artificial intelligence applications, platforms, and so on, and how to use it right. But the majority of people, they are not aware about artificial intelligence. They don't have high technology, so maybe they can't use it. For example, maybe the self-driving car will be disappearing the direct driver. For example, in the medical or healthcare, maybe we can have a micro robotic which can be inserted inside the human body, so they can make operation or discover something. So maybe that in that case, maybe they are going to cancel the role of surgeons or something like that. Now we are living now for banking and banking services. Most of banking services right now are used by artificial intelligence and robotics answering, and so they deleted a lot of human being efforts. So it has a harmful effect on human being, on job opportunities. We don't know, but about the consequence of the high advancement of using artificial intelligence.
If we talk about the net result when it comes to the creation of jobs, with artificial intelligence now playing a big part in the equation of economies, do you think that the net will be plus or minus? And I'm talking here about jobs. Not GDP, or not the size of the global economy.
Individual jobs.
Yeah, individual jobs.
Yes. During the corona crisis and the economic crisis which faced all over the world, now they are facing economic crisis. So most of people worked from home and they were forced to use internet and remote work. So a lot of people, and by the way, we faced high layoff percentage during that period. So a lot of people just improve their skills, learn new skills, how to use computer, how to use different platforms for job creations and creating job opportunities. So it opened new channels for creating job opportunities, maybe for improving the current income. If someone is working a full-time job and he wants to improve his current income, so he can use, for example, e-marketing or something, or content creation or something. So it will be a side job. So in that case, maybe he can improve his income. So if we talk about the job, it gives huge opportunities for job creation. A lot of jobs will be arise, such as programming, content creation, e-marketing, e-commerce, cybersecurity, programming.
So despite the fact that a lot of jobs will be disappearing, you think that the final net result will be positive when it comes?
No, it will be negative, of course, because majority of the world population, they are not aware of using information technology.
And you will never have 8 billion people aware of
yes,
of artificial intelligence. I mean, even down the line, when this globe becomes 10 and 12 and 16 billion, yes. I mean.
So it have a negative side, of course. And if you would like to shed more light on certain people or certain category, workers, blue collars, farmers, so they don't have a chance to improve their skills. So if we talk about,
or they might improve it, but it could take a lot of time,
yes.
and it could be just too late.
Yes, yes. For example, the replacement of machines with workers. So maybe some of factories, they laid off their workers, replaced with robotics or machines, advanced machines. So they don't have other means to live or to have some learnings regarding using how to use information technology, or maybe to learn a new profession using internet or something like this.
You know, I kept insisting on asking that question to every guest I have had here in the program, and you are the first one that answered the net result as far as jobs worldwide will be negative,
yes.
not positive, yes. because of AI.
Yeah.
And the reason I kept insisting on asking the question, because I'm not an expert. But of course, I'm not an expert in the field of AI. But that's my personal belief. I wanted someone to tell me that the net result as far as jobs worldwide will be negative,
yes.
not positive. But I'm just telling you that you are the first one to tell me that. But
yes.
I've had 4 or 5 other guests throughout, I mean, maybe last year,
yeah.
Who predict a positive outcome as far as jobs worldwide. Let me ask you the second question that I always also ask, and I've gotten only one answer for it. I want to see if you will differ again. What about the size of the global economy, the size of developed countries' economies, and the size of developing countries' economies? How will it be affected by artificial intelligence? GDP and what?
Yes, here let's talk here in Egypt especially. Egyptian state here recognize the importance of artificial intelligence. Therefore, President Sisi just encouraged how to improve and boost more job opportunities for youth. And he presented a lot of job opportunities related to information technology. And accordingly, as well, many universities, 13 universities, They are going to provide more education relevant to information technology and artificial intelligence, because we recognize that it's connected with the future jobs and future GDP. So now we are improving the current situation and digital transformation, and many governmental areas here in Egypt, they have transformed their process and procedures to use digital transformation. Everything is kept now. And we have here in Egypt a huge database, and which reflect, of course, the GDP and how to generate more income by developing new technology. Here in Egypt, we have brilliant and most intellectual manpower all over the world, and they are brilliant. Therefore, the new trend, or maybe the new plan, just how to boost and improve the current manpower to generate more money, which will be reflecting the GDP in Egypt.
So you think the Egyptian economy will benefit from AI?
Of course.
What about the global economy at large?
Course.
Yes.
But if you would like to first world, second world, third world, maybe the first world, they are very advanced.
This answer conforms with all the other answers that I've gotten. There is no disagreement there, and there's no disagreement from my part. If of course, I should not have an opinion, but that's a personal opinion. Now, youth. So the youth are the most likely, of course, segment of society to benefit from artificial intelligence. They are the future. They are the ones who already are talented when it comes to technology, and they are the ones willing to learn, feeling the urgency to learn more, the necessity to do that. And they love doing that. They love learning about technology. So the elder generations will be left behind. Because of AI, but the youth can benefit. They are the future anyway. They are the most important part of the story. So how can AI benefit youth in specific, in detail? Yes,
of course. Of course, most of youth now, they are using the artificial intelligence, different platforms in searching. They are using different platforms in their educational system and so on. We'd like to talk what about after graduation, how to use the AI to get the most relevant job and the career job. The AI plays an important role for defining the most important skills for youth, which are aligned with the trends, labor market trends. And it make with the current skills and what about the requested skills. And when we set a gap, it set a gap analysis, and then it can advise the youth, okay, now your skills 1, 2, 3, 4, now you need more skills so you can develop yourself by learning new skills. And on the other hand, we have learning and development. So a lot of trainings and online programs so that any youth can get benefit from these platforms to improve their skills, just to have a good job opportunity. For example, maybe LinkedIn. If someone is going to set his profile or her profile on LinkedIn, and there is a good job opportunity, so maybe when they apply, so they have a self-assessment which says that now your current skills matches with the requested skills in 1 or 2 skills, but you have 8 other skills. So maybe when I know that I have deficiency or I lose some skills, so I work on myself and then I learn these skills in order to apply again with a good job opportunity. Each one just has to concentrate what about the requested job description, the skills, and then to be matched with my current job description and skills. And just to align my current CV with the requested job description and skills. Because the artificial intelligence now, they have AI, ATS, applicant tracking system. There is no need now for a recruiter just to screen the CV of the applicant. They insert by a software that now we need a certain position with a job description 1, 2, 3, 4 with specific skills. The software itself gets thousands of CVs, so it makes gap analysis, so it rejects automatically the people who do not have matched skills, and then they accept the one which is matching with the requested skills. So a lot of people, maybe they apply for hundreds of jobs, but they are not accepted. So they have to be aware in that case that the artificial intelligence by applicant tracking system monitor and check their CV just to compare it with the requested job description and skills, and he could be rejected. Therefore, they have to work on themselves to match their CV with the requested any job
you know, Dr. Maha, listening to you now, I mean, from one side of the story, artificial intelligence could eliminate, or should at least, if there is no biased data and if there is no bias in the process somewhere in the middle, should eliminate big portions of corruption. But on the other side, it seems, by logic, and again, I'm not an expert, but logic says that I can maneuver, I can manipulate AI to my biases and get anything I want, and if I'm so good at it,
yes.
and, if I'm a good individual or a good company or a country, a leading country that is superior to others in knowledge, I could really manipulate that, and you know, corruption would be exponential.
Yes, of course.
So.
Of course. So, but let's talk about skills. If, for example, if a certain job needs problem-solving skills or decision-making skills, so most of us we all these skills. So, if maybe the applicant tracking system, they will be cancel my CV or reject my CV because I don't or I don't have decision making a problem solving. So why do I? And what about the bias or corruption if I'm going to adjust my CV just to mention that I have these skills? All of us we can have decisions, solve problems, and so on. But on the but to be a liar to mention something is not exist. So this is the corrupted. Right.
There's another problem here. Now, in many developing countries, a lot of youth will not have the chance to adapt to technology quickly, or even some countries have large portions of youth that are not even exposed to technology, or at least to a minimal level the use of mobile phones and so on. So this means that there's a big threat that the gap between the developed and the developing would just keep widening in the near future.
This role for the state itself, just to have how to improve the quality of, first of all, the internet, and it's worth to mention that Egypt has a good ranking internationally, and it's considered now the 4th country all over the African continent that we have an excellent internet access. So we cannot use programming, internet platforms without internet. So the main objectives of developing countries just to secure or to provide good internet connections, to have a good strategy for youth, how to use information technology and how to enable youth to use it. For example, here in Egypt, maybe a few years ago, we enforced students to use tablets in their examination and in their educational system. After that, we found coronavirus. So the whole world forced to use technology and the remote learning, online learning, and so. So if we did not prepare at that time to use information technology, maybe the students faced huge problem because they were not prepared to use internet or online learning or something like this. So a strategy should be set correct and just to know what about the gap analysis, what about the requested skills, but they have to have infrastructure at the beginning and set a good educational system just to give opportunity to most of population to have access to internet, then to apply artificial intelligence.
Absolutely, very important. Thank you very much, Dr. Maha Mahgoub, Human Development and Human Resources Expert. It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you, dear viewers, for watching us. Next week, same time, God willing, is a new episode of Business Insider. Goodbye.